Oh, hey!
Hey!
Welcome to Blackman Beyond. My name is Marc Bernardin.
I'm Khary Payton.
Hey!
Hey!
I'm sorry, I was taken aback by all these fucking like portals behind the bar. I don't know if you guys can see this at home, but they put a facelift on this mug.
Look at this.
It looks so pretty.
It's pretty. We could all get away.
Hey.
Everybody take a pod.
What's that? Platform 9 3/4? Hey. Yes, welcome to the, for the time being anyway, the final Blackman Beyond podcast.
I killed it.
You did. You brought it. You came in.
And I came in here and kicked this thing's butt.
It is the last one only because Kevin is coming back on March 3rd, which will be our next podcast.
Kevin lives.
And
awesome.
So I play when he's away, and now that he's not away, then the play goes away.
You still get to do your own thing.
I mean, I still get to do my own thing because I started a series, a film series.
Yes, that's right. That's right. A very successful
so
film series so far, right?
Yeah, the Alamo Drafthouse, downtown LA. It's called The Minority Report. Because I'm all about a good title.
Absolutely.
But it's all about sort of looking at genre films through a diverse lens. So it's like diverse stories, diverse filmmakers, diverse actors, above and beyond, through the looking glass, all of that shit.
Does everybody have to shave their head?
I hope not.
Oh, shit.
I mean,
think about it.
Maybe.
All right.
Cool.
Look at this. Look at this sexy drink they made for me. Let me see.
Ooh, do it.
Well played. Well played. Thank you, guys.
But yeah, the first film in the series is Serenity.
Oh, nice.
Yes, we sold out in 30 hours downtown LA.
Hey, man, them Serenityites.
You know, I mean, dude, the brown coats will unite.
They come and come hard.
If
Absolutely.
You send up a fucking flare, they will show up, including downtown LA, which, you know, I'm not sure I would go if I wasn't moderating the series. It's kind of far.
It depends on what side of the street you walk on. It gets sketched real fast in downtown LA. You know. Yeah. I do believe that's where the Waynes lost their life, was in downtown LA. You could literally be in the nicest theater in the world and just take the wrong turn and your mom and daddy are dead.
Yeah, no.
You know,
no lies detected.
There's no lies detected. We will speak the truth tonight. So says Rosa.
Indeed.
So say us all.
Apparently, we both got the memo.
Exactly. It's Black History Month. We're not fucking around.
I know. We're coming to the end, so like, you show out.
Exactly. The funny thing is, I don't think in all my years I've ever heard Rosa Parks say anything. I've only seen pictures. So the idea that she got on the bus and they were like, you gotta get up, and she was like, nah. Just fucking love that. Okay, first of all, I have to make an announcement.
Ooh, I love announcements.
Yes.
Does it involve me?
No, it doesn't. I mean, it
Even
does.
Better.
It does a little bit. It's just that, you know, that I do cartoon voices and have done them for many years.
I've heard tell.
Exactly. And so I just would like to make a disclaimer. If you haven't figured it out already, this is not a kid show. I will not be using my inside voice. I will not be using my kindergarten words. So kids, go to bed. This is not for you. But I would like to tell them a joke. Because Eddie Murphy, when he did the same thing when he did stand up, and he said, "Go home, this is not buckwheat. I'm gonna say some nasty shit. So go, but I'll tell you one joke." And this is the joke he told. He said, a bear and a rabbit met in the woods. And the bear asked the rabbit, "Do you have trouble with shit sticking to your fur?" And the rabbit said, "No, I don't have trouble with shit sticking to my fur." So the bear wiped his ass with the rabbit. Now go to bed, kids. Go to bed. All right.
I feel like I'm gonna get the call on like the bat phone from Warner Brothers, being like, "Oh, you gotta pull him off. Like, we need Cyborg to not be saying shit like this in public in front of people."
They're in all kinds of trouble if that's the case.
So yeah, whatever. The housekeeping is done.
Yeah.
Thank you for fucking joining me, man. You were like the busiest man in the world.
Man, you know what? I'm just glad I could make it. I love you guys. I love this show. I'm also afraid of this show because because I always watch things late, you know, and so I want to try it out, but then I know that you're gonna spoil something for me.
Yeah.
So I have to be careful when I tune in. But I love you guys so much because I love Kevin's enthusiasm. And I love that he cries at everything, and you're always right. So, to me, it's the perfect podcast.
Yeah.
You know, it's always like, oh shit, man, I was just in everything, and I was crying, and then it stops for a minute, and then you're like, and here are all the things that are bad about this, and he was like, fuck, man, you're so smart. Why didn't I think of that? I'm an idiot.
Stop writing a better movie that I've already cried to.
I'm gonna go home.
No, it means a lot. Especially because like we don't know each other all that well.
No, we really don't.
We just send up like the black signal, and we're like, "Hey, can you come to the Scum Villainy Cantina?" It's like, I gotta go.
The funny thing is that we met years ago at Long Beach Comic Convention, and I was I guess emceeing a panel. And you were the main speaker.
Yeah, it was for the Dwayne Mcduffie writing for comic books award.
Yes, award, right? Exactly. And I just love what he had to say. I didn't know who you were before that, and so I immediately started following you on Twitter and Instagram, and so we had one of those weird, you know, Instagram. Hey man, that was nice what you just said.
But at least we can trace it back to a thing.
Exactly.
There are people I've known for almost a decade that I don't know where I met or how I met. They just seem to be a part of my life. It's like, oh, did we ever? I don't know. Was there like a drinks thing?
Oh,
or
wow.
Was it a Comic-Con?
I could have been coming to your house all this time. We actually met.
I mean, you might have like one of my TVs.
What's in your pantry?
But no, it was a lovely event. Dwayne Mcduffie, who was one of the founding members of the Milestone universe at DC, who created Static and who helped create
Icon, Rocket,
all of that stuff, was one of the best comic book writers, period, to work in the industry. Happened to be a big old black dude. And so happened to be all about kind of helping to usher in new voices into the business.
Absolutely.
And championing the ones who were there and telling stories stories about characters of color at a time when nobody really wanted to do that in a fundamental way. But he's also a dude who got to write the Avengers and the Justice League and create his own stuff and be in animation and wrote a whole shit ton of like the Justice League.
Just ridiculously prolific.
Absolutely.
You know, dude.
Yeah, and like died too young.
Way too young.
Way too young. In his late 40s, I believe, or early 50s.
I think it was in his 40s. He seemed like a baby to me.
Yeah.
You know, if he was in his 50s, he looked good for 50.
Yeah, he wrote the Justice League New Frontier animated movie, and some of the last pictures of him are at the premiere for that movie. And so when he passed away, like his widow kind of took it upon herself to carry that torch and to help establish this sort of award for people of color who are writing in comic books and doing really great work and just being able to shine a light on that. And so it was the second, maybe, Dwayne Mcduffie Awards, and they asked me to be the keynote speaker because I ripped Dwayne Mcduffie off like 9 or 10 times. And they were like, well, clearly you now have to come.
Right.
I met him once, and I told him, like, I shamelessly ripped off Damage Control,
no.
which he invented for Marvel. And if you've never read Damage Control, it's this amazing book about, like, what happens when, you know, Galactus comes to New York and destroys Central Park, and there's still a Central Park. Who rebuilds it? And Damage Control were the people who, like the insurance adjusters and the repair guys and triage, and they would come in and like rebuild the New York that gets destroyed every fucking issue of every fucking comic book.
Right.
And so I'd shamelessly ripped that off for this book called Monster Attack Network, which is set on this like Pacific island where Godzillas and Mothras and Ghidras are like nasty and would destroy fucking Hawaii every issue. And these were the guys who fixed it. Okay. And when I met him at Comic-Con, I was like, hey, dude, listen, I've been ripping you off on this book for like a year. He's like, it's an homage.
There you go.
It's not a ripoff. He's like, we all do it. I did it. People before me did it. You do it. It's how we get this done.
Right.
Like we see something we like, you make it your own. And I was always super humbled by the fact that he was that magnanimous about his own genius. And so when they asked me to do it, I was super fucking honored to. And you were the MC of the event?
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, this guy's cool. He's like, hey, this guy doesn't smell funny. I'm going to follow him on Instagram. And now, like 5 years later...
Yeah, here we are.
Here we fucking are. For the people at home who are not intimately familiar with you and your career, walk us through a little bit. I mean, the big ones that people might know. Okay,
well, I've been Cyborg from Teen Titans for 17 years now. The voice of Cyborg, I guess, the original, I say, but you know, Cyborg was around a lot before the cartoon from the early 2000s. So I've been Cyborg, and I've done Cyborg in a lot of different iterations. Mostly now I do kind of a very irreverent, silly version of Cyborg on a show called Teen Titans Go. That's thank you very much. Thank you very much for not listening to the internet and everybody who's mad that it's not the old show. But it's really brilliant actually, and I think its success comes from the fact that kids started watching it, and we stopped writing for the kids about 20 episodes in, it just started writing for the parents. You know, it was like, I mean, there's shows about, you know, how not to get involved in pyramid schemes, how to buy a mortgage, you know, it's you know, how the university system is broken.
But you know, for kids.
Exactly, for the children. And so that's been great, and and recently, I guess semi-recently, about just a few months after we met, actually, I started working on The Walking Dead. I play King Ezekiel on The Walking Dead. Thank you very much. All y'all that are still watching, that's so nice. There's like, I mean, there are still a lot of people that watch. There was just 8 million people that stopped watching right before I started on the show. You know? It was like literally the episode before me, they were like, okay, fuck you, that's too much. And I was like, no, but
I got a tiger.
I got a tiger. And they were already gone. And it was
a very aggressive call-in campaign to like, hey guys, we should like stop watching just before he gets on.
I'm telling you, it was weird how it was like it was like, I mean, I just recently went vegan, so my farts don't stink as much as they used to, but it was I just ripped one and they just left the room.
I don't know, dude. Like I occasionally work with a vegan and they're worse.
Are they? You know what? I try to keep moving, so maybe I just leave the cloud behind me. I don't know.
Duck and weave, baby, duck and weave.
Exactly.
But that's a lot of fucking beans, man.
It's true. It's true. The sprouts will do you. I'm going to put that on a T-shirt. That's going to be my next one. The sprouts will do you. Let's do it. But so those are the main things. I also have been on a I don't know if it's a cult favorite because it's actually a pretty successful cartoon called Young Justice, where I play several characters, including Calderon, who was Aqualad, who's now Aquaman, and Black Lightning and Black Manta. If there's a black in the name, I'm probably playing it.
I can't wait for your Black Orchid.
Oh my God! Oh, you know what? I'm gonna have a couple more drinks and you can see the Black Orchid. It's amazing.
I didn't want to see it. I just wanted to hear it.
You just wanted to hear it.
Yeah, I'm married. I can't see your Black Orchid.
I have to run real fast for you to get the. Let's just stop with that. So anyway, Young Justice. I do Young Justice. And what else? What else am I doing? Oh, I spend time role playing in my off time. A lot of times doing Dungeons and Dragons online.
What is your character class of choice?
My character class of choice is a Tempest cleric by the name of Shikasta. He's actually a blind Tempest cleric or a weather storm cleric who sees through the eyes of a hummingbird, whose name is the Grand Duchess Anastasia Nikolaevna. The Grand Duchess sits on his shoulder right there. He has a beautiful white afro that one day I'll be able to grow back if when they finally kill me off of The Walking Dead.
For a second, I thought you said that this Tempest cleric was from Chicago. And,
oh no!
Which is a totally different thing.
That would be yeah. So he just talks kind of like, hey, you know.
You got more sausage back there.
Where the hell is the sausage exactly? So yeah, he eats all the sausage because I'm a vegan now. So
that's a natural 20. Fucking critical hit, yo.
It is. And we also did this cool thing where we did Deadwood. We did like a role playing game of the show Deadwood. But it was kind of mystical and supernatural, and it was called Undeadwood. It was kind of like you take zombies and role playing and Deadwood and put them all together, and we did like a 4-part miniseries of that, and that was so much fun.
Who is this we you speak of?
Oh, this we. It's all of my Critical Role people from let's see, Matt Mercer, Marisha Ray. All of those jokers.
Travis
Willingham. big ass Travis Willingham.
Big ass Travis.
Exactly. Brian Foster was the DMer fellow. So
the DMer.
Yeah, exactly. See, I know all of the technical terms. The thing is, I only played Dungeons and Dragons with my daughters twice. Before I actually started doing this. I'm good at make-believe. I don't know any of the rules, and I don't remember any of the terms. Just be glad I remember my character's name.
Yeah, and your daughter's names.
Exactly. Well, yeah, we get there. You.
That's...
So it's been
a lot.
fun.
You're a busy fucking man.
I try to be busy. I recently got my first writing job. I'm really excited. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Welcome.
Yeah, of course, I can't say anything about it other than I am doing it and that I'm incredibly excited for it. I found out that I am just the kind of wedge nerd that is perfectly suited for this particular job, because I've written things before and I've produced things before on my own, but never in a writer's room sort of situation, and I wasn't sure how I was gonna navigate it, and it turned out, and I was like, oh man,
I got this.
All of my nerd DNA, I can flow right into this shit. This is gonna be amazing. So,
and if it doesn't work, they think I have a tiger.
Yeah, they think I had a tiger.
I had a tiger. Oh,
I know. We're gonna pour it out. There you go.
Poor Shiva.
That's for you, baby. I don't want to pour too much out. I'm not gonna waste that.
No. You are so busy. I was surprised that today we were sort of DMing back and forth about the show's gonna go whatever. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna go see Birds of Prey at noon. I was like, how do you have time to go see Birds of Prey at noon? What? You're a busy dude. But you're not that busy.
No. I mean, this is my off time. So from the show. So I'm a little bit freer as far as my time was concerned. I am a busy ski instructor these days.
Wait, what?
Yeah. If I wasn't doing Bird of Prey, then I was probably going to be at Big Bear teaching like 13-year-olds how to ski.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
I'm trying to square all these circles in my head.
Always try to broaden your horizons, man. It was like you try. What I like to do is be like a black man from Georgia who didn't see snow until he was like 17, and now I ski on a regular basis. I love this shit. I love Southern California.
Yeah, no, I'm all for broadening your horizons, but just on things with brakes and steering wheels, like just hurtling yourself into the void. Just like praying, like, I hope these skis stick.
I've been hurtling myself into the void for years. I'm just using different apparatus at this point. I started off like breakdancing. Like when my performing, bug kind of started, I started off breakdancing, and I was tiny when I was little. I mean, by the time I got into high school, I wasn't quite 5 feet tall. I wasn't quite 100 pounds. I could throw my body all kinds of weird ways, and they'd be like, "That dude's got his toe in his mouth. That's crazy. He's spinning on his finger with his toe in his mouth." And so, in my tiny little town of Athens, Georgia, I was the man boy, and It's so I think I've just been looking for crazy ways to maim myself. And the nice thing is, as I had to stop playing basketball because my right knee wouldn't let me anymore, and because I play basketball even though I'm pushing mid-century, I still play like I'm 25. But
that's a problem.
I just learned to ski, so I ski like I'm 46. It's so that's okay.
I had to stop playing basketball because my knee hurts. So instead, I took up bungee jumping. Like, what the fuck is that?
As long as you don't hit the ground, you're going to be fine,
You're
man.
supposed to throttle backwards, man.
You're going to get close to the ground, just close to the ground, and you'll be fine.
It's like, I picked up macrame. Better for you. Less body injuries. Like, no. I picked up cannon firing myself at distance.
But I don't eat meat no more, so at least...
Oh, that's your trade-off?
So when I slam into something, at least I'll be healthy when I die.
Yeah, I took up William Telling. I just let people shoot arrows at apples in my head.
Oh my God.
It's safe.
It's true. I gotta stay in shape somehow, man. I can't play basketball, so I gotta do something because I still gotta swing a sword and kill zombies. When they ask me back to work. Today I was just hiking up to the wisdom tree up here. The wisdom tree.
I've heard of it.
It's beautiful.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, you probably won't.
No.
It's not an easy trip.
No.
But I used to take my youngest daughter on my put her in a little backpack and take her up with me, and now she got too big and the back of her legs would start kicking me in the thigh and. She just didn't fit the backpack anymore.
Well, because when they do that, that's called kidnapping.
Yeah, there you go. So I got a weight pack, and it started taking a weight pack up, and the thing about the weight pack is, when you do it the first time, you're trying to be careful. You don't want to hurt yourself. You're like, let's do it, and you get all the way up there, and you're like. Khary, you're not bad. Man, look at you. You made it all the way up there with your weight pack on. So the next time, you get up there and you're like, I'm going to hoof up this thing. And I get about, I don't know, a two-thirds of the way up, and I start breathing so hard, you start seeing through time. You start, you know what I mean? Like the friends of, your ancestors come up and all talking like deep Johnny Cash voices to you, and then and all the ladies who you were impressing on the way up are like, it's okay, you're almost there, Then
all the Jedis who had died before show up
exactly.
and say, make it, you can.
No. It's just Yoda laughing.
But somehow backwards.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, man, it looks like you're looking for some aggressively expensive ways to hurt yourself.
Live it until they take it away. That's what I say. Keep it up until they take it away.
When do you go back for more zombie killing?
Well, if I survive this next season, which starts back on February 23rd, very excited. Absolutely. So I have to survive 8 more episodes.
Okay.
That's why I don't worry when people are worried about if their show is gonna get canceled. It's like every week I'm like at least what the show may get canceled after your 22 episode run. Every day I get a script and I'm like. Hi, thanks. Oh God. So if I survive the next 8 episodes, then we usually go back in May.
So and making sure that the dude delivering scripts stops by your trail. It's like, wait, I don't get a script this week.
They literally put on like a hood and carry a sickle. It's dark.
Khary,
it's dark. I know.
Would you like to read the script this week, Khary? No, I'm good. So yes. You did take some time today to go see Birds of Prey.
I did.
I've now seen it twice.
I saw that. You went to see it twice.
That itself seems like a bit of a commentary.
No.
You saw that twice.
No.
You paid money and everything, both times.
No. I enjoyed a lot of the movie.
I liked it better the second time I saw it.
Okay.
Because and I find that a lot in that once I'm absolved from expecting anything from a movie, I'm allowed to appreciate actually what it is.
Sure.
Not that I expected very much going into Birds of Prey. I expected better than Suicide Squad, which I got.
Sure.
I was quite happy about that. There's parts of this movie that I liked quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think Margot Robbie is doing really, really interesting work as Harley. And I don't mean interesting as like oh no, that child is breathtaking. No, I mean interesting, like actually interesting work. Like
right.
I think she's found the core of what makes that character tick. And there's a couple of scenes throughout that are just fantastic little baby kind of like diagrams as to what makes that character work.
There are moments where she really sinks down into not the caricature of what we think of as Harley, but a flawed and in those quiet moments.
In those quiet moments, like has everybody seen Birds of Prey? Yeah. Because we may spoil some shit.
Yeah, no.
I'm just saying, spoiling may happen.
I mean, if you haven't, then fuck you. I don't know why you're here. I mean, he literally tweeted about this shit like twice.
Yeah.
You know, so this isn't our fault. This is your fault.
But there's an amazing
Tell the whole
scene.
goddamn movie.
Whole goddamn movie. But there's this amazing scene about a third of the way through where Harley Quinn is at the bar at Roman Sionis' place. And she's drunk off her ass, and Dinah Lance comes over next to her, and like this is the first time those two characters meet, even though it's clear they had seen each other before. And Harley, is like, do you know what a harlequin is? Like, in literature, do you know what that character's job is? Like, she's a clown. She's there to serve a master. Without that master, she has no purpose in life.
Yes.
And then
she's a helper. She's supposed to support something else.
She's like, she's peanut butter without jelly. She's and without that unity, that character traditionally has no idea what to do with herself.
Right.
And she confesses for the first time that she broke up with the Joker, and she doesn't know what to do with herself. And I'm like, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
Like, given what we know about this character and how she had for her entire existence been. Come
on in. He was just about to tear up with the shit that he was going to say, but thank you for breaking that up.
Oh, you let them be. They showed up. They came to play.
All right.
But yeah, and like that scene is.
I'm not going to leave you alone. Okay. Rest of the night. I'm fucking with you. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Now it was me.
Now you did it.
You need a tissue? I'm going to get you a tissue.
Right.
Here, you know what? I got a long shirt.
No, there's a box of Kev tissues under here from when he cries all the time.
All right.
But that's what the movie's about. It's about a woman who had been for so long defined by the man she was with, deciding not to be with that guy anymore. And then who is she in the absence of that person? And every now and again, the movie glances against that idea, but not quite enough for me.
Yeah.
It
sort of forgot about that moment. And honestly, it's kind of interesting because that's the name of the movie. It's the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn, and that really is what this movie is, because it's not Birds of Prey. It's a story of Harley Quinn, and if we're doing it right, I mean, you can read into all of that stuff, but I don't think it told that story quite proficiently enough that this was literally Harley Quinn going from a support and someone who needed a master to someone who can stand on her own.
Yeah, and the movie kind of missed its opportunities to reinforce that story.
Right.
Like, I thought Ewan McGregor is playing every shitty Hollywood executive I've ever had a meeting with.
Yeah.
Like, he's just thoroughly egocentric and like dazzled by the daffiest shit. Like, here are masks I got in Zimbabwe. Like, he overpronounces shit. And he's having a blast playing this sort of thoroughly entitled, thoroughly privileged dude who doesn't see that privilege, but still thinks he's owed a bunch of shit, which kind of delicious. But I kept on wanting. He hates Harley Quinn for reasons that are fundamentally surfacey, right? Which is like, you were always impenetrable because you were the Joker's girl, but now you're not. I want to kill you. Why? Because you beat up one of my guys once and you make fun of my name.
Right. Because he can. Honestly, it was because, you know what? You were something I couldn't fuck with, and now I can. And I hated you because you were something that I couldn't fuck with, and I could usually fuck with everything.
Right. But the thing that I kind of wanted was for him to have been in love with Harley.
Ooh.
And if here's a guy who always had an eye for Harley, but knew that he couldn't even make a play because she was the Joker's girl, and now she's not the Joker's girl, and he makes a play and she turns him down because she, as established, has said, I want to be my own person for the first time in my life.
Oh,
I don't want to define myself by this man.
Why are you fucking making the movie better? I thought it was good, and you're fucking making it better. Fuck. That shit was fucking amazing. You're fucking awesome, man. I swear to God, I didn't even think of it. I'm a fucking asshole.
But like, if her turning him down is the reason why he then wants to kill her, because we've established he gets whatever he wants.
Yeah.
And now he can't have it. Then that informs his story and why he does the things he does. It informs her story. It helps to sort of reinforce her story and reinforce her desire to sort of build this girl gang to help her figure out who she's supposed to be in the absence of some domineering male figure.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing, I guess, that it never really took on. There are all of these. It is definitely women kicking some ass, and that's amazing. But the deeper dive into it, I think, is where maybe it missed the point. And also there's this thing that they would do in the movie where they would start the action. The action would kind of, crescendo and get really good, and then they'd stop and go back and tell a story.
Like, you don't know how we got here. Let me explain to you how we got
here. I don't
give
a fuck. I was like, just keep kicking them in the balls. Just kick them in the balls some more. It was so good. And I get that in a way we needed that backstory. I would have liked to have maybe told the story in a more linear sense, because when they went back, they really went back to tell everything. And I would have loved to have heard those stories in the voices of the women that were going through it, but
like the only reason sort of dramatically to do that is if by telling
y'all better get the fuck on. I swear to God. I swear to God, y'all gonna come through here. Clean white t-shirts. I'm gonna fuck that t-shirt. What is on that t-shirt? No, you know what? No, we're not about to have a conversation. I'm just joking. Go on, keep on walking out the door. Keep on. You're almost there. And they go. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. Man, I am so bad at hosting a show. By the time we're at the end of this, there's going to be me, you, and somebody sweeping the floor. That is it.
And then you'll turn on me.
And then I'll be like, why the fuck did you bring me here?
You wore that shirt. You knew I was going to wear that shirt.
You knew I was going to wear that shirt. Why you got to wear this?
By my style, by my fucking style.
Why is your nah bigger than my nah?
Genetics, I guess.
Genetics.
But yeah, I just think there's
I'm having such a good time.
I'm so glad.
You know what? One person in here is having a very good time. And it's me. And it's me.
As you prophesied, you're like, hey, listen, if nobody shows up, it's just you and me, I'm going to have a blast.
I'm going to have a good time.
You're having a good time.
I have never been to the cantina of Scum and Villainy, and
what?
I've never been here.
Shut up.
Because, I'm very busy. I keep hearing about it. It was popping up for a while, and I was like, I keep missing it. And then it was just here, and then I was just not here.
You was in Atlanta slaying zombies.
Exactly. And so this was, somewhere teaching 13-year-olds how to ski. And now, I'm just so happy to be.
13-year-old white children down a mountain.
It's true.
That seems like a good
There are
rules.
some Asian children as well.
Good.
Okay? Mostly white, some Asian, and every once in a while there's a 17-year-old black kid who got lost.
How did I end up at the top of this mountain? Only way down, son.
Exactly.
So yes, I think that the sort of fractured storytelling doesn't actually add anything to it. It feels as if it was used to put action scenes where they felt that it was lagging a bit.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, she's got to kick some ass here. We don't know why, so let's just we'll figure it out later.
Yeah. But now, that being said, I thought that the fight choreography was phenomenal, and once it started, I was loving it. I was absolutely loving it, and I was wishing I was in there getting my legs, broken in the wrong way, you know, just knees popped in
Although
horrible directions.
It felt like inconsistent at times, where like sometimes she's a fucking baseball bat ninja, and then sometimes she kind of gets her ass kicked for reasons that don't seem legit.
You know what? But I understand that. Being an individual with ADHD,
you forget you know how to fight?
Absolutely, you forget you know how to fight. Like, you know?
Hold on.
You are not Neo. When you are ADHD, you are not Neo. You just don't know Kung Fu. You know Kung Fu sometimes. And that's how it works. And the thing is, it's like when they started shooting the cocaine and she sucked it up and she was like, I know Kung Fu, you know? It's like sometimes you need that aspect of you know, something to trigger you into reminding you of who you are. And so that I kind of understood, because there were definitely times where she was just flighty and kind of like, oh, stuff's flying around me. You know, I got hit in the face. I don't know what to do. That reminded me of the times where I'm standing in a room where there's just piles of shit everywhere, and somebody walks in and they were like, "What have you been doing for the last 3 hours?" And I was like staring at all of this. And then
I've been shitting in this room. Do you not see the piles of shit all around my feet?
Exactly. You know. But then I can ski down the mountain, and you know, and I can talk a blue streak. So there are.
Which is why we brought you here.
Exactly. Somewhere you got to fill these 2 hours.
But I love that there are moments in that movie that feel like, I love movies that come at it from a completely different perspective than I was expecting it to. Like, there's a version of this movie that's directed by fucking Michael Bay, which is awful.
That's true.
It's like the worst.
That's true.
You know, and there are times when it gets close, when there's like, oh, there's all the smoke, and the smoke is like pink and purple, and there's fucking confetti everywhere. You're like, oh, no, this could be a Transformers movie that I hadn't seen before.
No, but but you know what? There is a little something underneath all of that confetti.
There's this one great, it's a moment, blink and you'll miss it. It's the big final fucking fight scene in the booby hatch, or the booby trap, and Canary is fighting, and her fucking dreadlocks are getting in her eyes. And
I love that.
And Harley swings over his like hair tie, and she's just like, I don't know where, just gives her hair tie, and that's part of the fucking scene.
Absolutely.
Because fucking like looking out for each other. Like,
it's huge. It's
my girl
huge.
needs a hair tie.
And as a dad with daughters, it was like, you know what I mean? Because I got hair ties everywhere. You know what I mean? Especially because I've got a daughter who's a tomboy, you know, who like loves for me to comb her beautiful, gorgeous locks. But if she ever gets near the door, she's like, Daddy, you need to tie this back. You know, so to keep this shit out of my face so I can do what I do. And when she did that, it was a little bit of dad in me that was like, yeah, I got one right here. You know?
I got scrunchies up the wazoo.
Oh my God. Wait. I love that. That is a beautiful moment.
It really is. It's like just tiny and so well observed.
I wish there were more of those moments and that they happened earlier. There's a moment between Cassandra Cain and Huntress where for obvious reasons Huntress was like, "Come over here. You don't need to see this, right? I saw shit when I was your age. You don't need to see all of this. Actually, this is more fun. Yeah, you should watch this." But there were those little moments that I really, it's one of those reasons that I was like, I wish they had told their story, because the story from their perspective is one that we haven't heard before, you know?
Yeah. Like I kept on feeling that I either wanted there to be more of the quote unquote birds of prey or less. Because and you want more because you want it to feel like it's a girl gang movie, right? Like you want to feel it's Harley's finding her people. For the first time in her life, she's discovered these 3 women from these various walks of life who've come into hers and are making her better for it.
Yeah.
You kind of want that to be earlier in the movie than it happens, which becomes like functional.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to get out of here alive unless we all team up. You want it to be, I'm responding to what you are and how unique and lovely you are. Be part of my circle because the circle is better for it.
Yeah.
Or, like, not at all, and just have it be fucking Harley Quinn learning to stand on her own and learning to face down this fucking, like, idiot dude who won't take her signals that she's not interested, who's trying to like, I'm going to deliver this kid and like maybe be a bad mom, but maybe be a great mom, but figure out my shit as I go.
Right.
You know, without having to take the time and tell like kind of fractionally these other stories.
It's so hard when you're building a team, doing that Sting, you know, doing that Ocean's 11. The time that you have to is so short that you have to have all of these characters be endearing, you know, in one way or another. And the thing is that all of them were. Yeah. You do feel for all of them in a certain sense, but maybe never together in a way that pulls them all the way to, you know what I mean, into that team sense.
Yeah,
you know?
like there's the whole like Black Canary run is interesting, where it's like, listen, my mother was a fucking superhero and I hated it. And I hated the cops because they burned my mom, and so I got no time for you, Renee Montoya. I got no time for this whole thing.
Right. And
I'm going to be dragged into this story kicking and screaming. But we don't get a sense really of how she feels about her mom.
Right.
You know, like, so what is that? What's the character story that we tell about her perspective on her mother and perspective on heroes and her perspective on her own power, which she seems to not want to use for reasons that are never actually put out there? So that if you tell that story, when she's forced to be her mother at the end, when she's forced to let that fucking canary cry fly, then it's like, oh shit, she's finally come to grips with what it meant to be a hero, with what her mother gave up, with what, like, the sacrifices, all of it means something in this moment. As it is, it's just fucking cool, but it's like, oh, it could actually be character. It could actually be, oh, you've crossed your own personal, like, Rubicon, and you figured out some shit for yourself. And that's...
It's so hard. It's so hard to be able to put all of these things in place, going back and forth in time, and I can see things getting lost, you know? And I feel like because at the beginning, as the movie was starting, I was like, I don't know if this has got anything that's gonna capture me. And by the end, I was swept up. I was loving and appreciating, you know, a lot of these aspects. It was just maybe the chapters just weren't as tight, you know, as you may have wanted them to be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want this to sound at all like I didn't like the movie. Like, I had a good time both times I saw it. But there are moments that I felt like they could have turned the volume up on something.
Sure.
And this is a movie that felt like it was built for the volume to be turned up.
Absolutely.
And like just...
More Pat Benatar.
Fuck. Give me more heart, more Barracuda.
Absolutely.
Like, and if you turn some of the volume up on those things that make those characters tick, then everything else kind of resonates more.
Yeah.
You know, everything else just has more heart and more bounce. And like, oh shit, you want to tell the story out of continuity? I get it, because I'm understanding the character story all the way through.
Right.
I dug it, again, like more the second time than the first time, but I honestly did dig it. I was dismayed to see the box office for it.
Yeah.
And not that the box office is horrible.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. Like, it made $33 million in the box office domestically its opening weekend.
Right.
All in at this point, it's made something like $148 million across the world.
Right.
Batman Begins only made like $42 million its opening weekend.
Right.
So like that difference is not huge.
Sure.
But it is always telling.
But it's the time, but between the time and ticket prices at this time, you know, the thing is that you're hoping that maybe the thing about action movies is that they definitely have a life after you know, the initial, you know, box office returns go in. Like, say something like The Bourne Identity made $1 billion after it was you know, released. But and so there's a chance of that happening. The thing is that that just the world is so saturated with action stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. The worry is that you might not get the next one if it doesn't have legs.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, and the narrative that gets told about failures versus successes, depending on who is in the failure or the success. You know, like the interpretation of this performance is going to be, sadly, because Hollywood is Hollywood, there isn't an audience for this kind of content, so we're not going to make this kind of content. As opposed to, we did a shitty job of selling this content.
Right.
Like Birds of Prey is the wrong title for this movie.
Why is this a Bird of Prey?
It's not. It should have just been like The Fabulous Emancipation of Harley Quinn.
That is the movie. That is the movie that we saw.
Yeah, put her name in it. You know,
exactly.
The character that everybody recognizes but doesn't know Birds of Prey from like a fucking hole in the wall.
Exactly. Or don't do it for people like me who like, where's Barbara Gordon? You're going to do a whole Birds of Prey movie, without Barbara Gordon. I mean, I am not the biggest comic book nerd, but if there's not a woman in a wheelchair in a nest somewhere keeping everything together, then I don't know where is this Birds of Prey? You know, there's got to be a nest.
Yeah.
And there's got to be an oracle in the nest. That's who keeps the shit together. She's talking to everyone. They got a little fucking earpiece in their ear. They talk to her all the fucking time.
Yes. Amen.
I don't mean to cast aspersions.
On some of our corporate benefactors.
Exactly. Oh, shit. I hope this Walking Dead thing lasts a while, because I'm never going to work again.
No, that dude who delivers scripts on Warner Brothers is passing by your trailer.
Yeah. You don't like me anyway.
Don't like you anyway. All right, should we get into some fucking news?
Yeah, let's talk the news, man.
Let's get into the news.
All the news that is fit to print.
This is the part of the show, as Kev likes to say, when I go to the internet and copy paste some shit and then read it out loud.
Somebody's got to do it.
It's hard work, man.
You know what? Like, you typed that.
No, that's copy paste, man. I'm just telling you, like that.
Oh, you didn't even actually type that?
No, dude. Control C, Control V.
Oh man.
Like return.
I literally, when you sent it to me, and I was like, wow, he typed all this shit out for me? This is so nice.
Yes, I did, Khary. I worked so hard on this today. Oh. It took me like 45 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
Read your bullshit page.
Yeah. Or were you a Sonic the Hedgehog player?
I was. You know what? I played a little Sonic, but I never got like crazy into it. You know, I was confused. I've seen hedgehogs. You know, that motherfucker doesn't look like a hedgehog. I was just having a conniption every time I would put it on, and it was, you know, and I'd never got enough coins.
That's the story.
Yeah, that's the story.
That's the story. Yeah, I'm familiar with two kinds of hedgehog: the hedgehog that lives in people's fucking gardens, and Ron Jeremy. Neither of which is in this movie.
Wait, is Ron Jeremy's nickname Hedgehog?
Yeah.
Sometimes I just don't need to know shit. All right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all right.
But if you've ever seen that dude,
it does check out. God damn it. They were all so cute before.
You at home know.
Okay.
Like, I'm sure right now there's a bunch of like dudes sitting next to their girlfriend. The dude's like, I know. And the girl's like, what?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? Let's talk more Hedgehog.
So Sonic, the first trailers for Sonic the Hedgehog came out, and they looked like shit warmed over. Because
they look like Ron Jeremy.
They look like Ron Jeremy. Like he's supposed to be blue.
He was like, I'm so hairy. You can see all the individual hairs. I know, I'm gray blue. Yeah.
I'm doing it.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't want to do that.
Dude, you know what?
But it's my fault. I'm sorry.
This makes sense now.
It all does.
We've come full circle.
The first trailer looked awful because they animated Sonic like I don't know what was going on with whoever thought that was what
You know what? They were trying to make him into Howard the Duck from way back. You know?
Yes, which worked out so well for
exactly.
Howard the Duck. And so fan outrage, there was a huge hue and cry. And so Paramount went back and redesigned the CG models for Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes, they did.
At great expense. They spared no expense. The movie came out this past weekend, Valentine's Day.
Right.
Perfect Valentine's Day viewing. And made $70 million in its opening weekend.
Boom.
Which, you know, Birds of Prey, 33, Sonic the Hedgehog, 70, okay, whatever.
You know what? But Sonic made a lot more money. Sonic also cost a lot more money.
I don't know that it did.
You know what? I'm just going to assume that it did. Because they had to go and reacquaint Sonic with his body, and they also had to pay Jim Carrey to put that mustache on. Because as a man who has to put on hair for a living, you're going to have to pay me to keep doing that.
Fair point.
Because although I am grateful and I appreciate it, that shit gets itchy after 17 hours.
Like a hedgehog.
So what I heard
Oh my
JC dropping in with
Sonic,
some news.
You just beamed right down.
through
Give yourself a spotlight?
the nerd bar gossip trickle down in Hollywood.
Oh, really?
Is
this a hive of scum and villainy and gossip?
Yes. The marketing company behind Sonic was asked, how do we make Sonic relevant? And they said, play into nerd rage. They animated Sonic to look like shit for the trailer only. And that they actually released it, and then nerds rage on the internet, and they said, we'll fix it. We'll spend the money to fix it so that people felt like they made a difference and they'd go out and see Sonic.
That is some bullshit if I've ever heard it. That is some boss trying to pretend that he was in control of shit the whole time. That is some bullshit.
Or
Mr. and Mrs. Sonic, you lie.
Or that is some like fucking three-dimensional, next level, like fucking Stephen Miller type evil chess.
Yes. It could be that, but more than likely, that somebody in a PR room, somebody was like, don't worry about this. We're gonna say this. It's gonna be fine.
I'm saying, man, like if that isn't what happened, it's going to be what happens next.
Yeah.
Somebody realizes, like, oh, that's some low-hanging fruit. Like we can make them angry. We can be. There's a term that gets used in writers' rooms a lot called arsonist fireman, where it's you cause problems only to then be the hero who swoops in to solve the problems.
Dude.
Like I set this fire, and then oh hey, I got my fire van outside. You need me to put out this fire? I'm your fucking hero. Like, this is some of that shit where it's like I caused a problem for me to fix, to look like a hero, and then to engender myself to legions of people who would never see this ordinarily, but because now they feel some sense of ownership, are going to show out to prove that fans should have that final say.
Man, you know how many jobs you just saved for me? This is amazing. I'm not writing this down because this is being recorded, but I'm definitely going to remember that shit. Everybody write that down. That's good.
Yeah, so Sonic made a shit ton of money. I'm afraid that there's going to be, if that version of it is true, that there will be a point like it's the BC AD switch, right? Like Jesus is the demarcation zone for there was an old world and now there's a new world.
Well, you know what? It's funny because you remember when Captain America First Avenger came out and they brought out like the goofy. What do you call it? Not VFW, but
USO?
USO version of, and everybody like lost it and was like all pissed off. And I remember them, there was something in maybe Entertainment Weekly, I think, where the producers were like, oh, we got them. They think that that's it. And I was like, oh man, you did get me. I did think that was it. You totally got me. I was like, they've been doing this shit for years.
Sons of bitches.
Sons of bitches. I love that movie.
It's so good.
I've been manipulated once again.
It felt so good.
It did. It did.
I love a good manipulation, man.
It's the truth. I don't mind getting manipulated.
If you manipulate me with like goodwill and intent, like
man,
Spielberg's
I'm so glad
been
you
doing
said
that.
goodwill and intent because this conversation is about to get weird. But I'm sorry, continue.
Is it weird or is it special?
It's special. It's special. Welcome to the special.
I remember. Spielberg is like the king of manipulation. Like he is just doing nothing but playing us like fucking fiddles. And I welcome it every damn time.
It's
Even
true.
when I see it coming, I'm like, what is this girl with the red dress and Schindler's List? Oh, you want me to cry now? Here you go, Steven. You worked for it.
Playing Edith Piaf in the middle of Private Ryan.
Yeah, we're just gonna sit down.
You're
for
like,
a while.
how dare you? How dare you find a record player in the middle of this death and destruction? About to kill
You just want my tears. You're like some kind of tear vampire. You just want to suck the joy out of my tears. I see it.
See you. How dare you?
You just got them bottled up in your house like some kind of crazy Grey Garden style hoarder. Just walls and walls of Mark tears that you've
We
been
all
saving
just
for 40
Drew
years.
Barrymore talking to a robot thinking it's real. Man, I need a minute.
All right.
All right.
Did you see Matt Reeves, who's directing the new The Batman picture, dropped a little like 30-second chum of fucking
Little Bon Mont
ejaculate into the universe.
Absolutely.
Of like, look, it's Batman. Woo!
It was a tiny little look.
It's just like,
You know what? It's like back in the day when Michael Jackson would jump on stage and be like still for 20 minutes and then just turn his head and everybody go, wah!
yeah. Also, like for a second, like he looked tough.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Michael Jackson.
Like in Smooth Criminal.
Yeah, but
Like you could flip a coin from across the room and it'd land right in the slot.
he somehow managed to convince a lot of people to do a lot of things, some of which not very good at all. But the world thought he was a badass, like for like 8 minutes. Like he's got the bandoliers on, and each of them is made of like golds. He's like the shiniest fucking bandolero dude. Like, yeah, really, Mike? You?
Yeah.
Fucking soldier?
I'm telling you, he was marching, leaning.
So much lean.
He was literally like, wait, he was like, would you like to read that? He was like, well, bring it closer. He was like, no need.
Meanwhile, his sister's over there like fucking marching in Rhythm Nation, like looking like 9 times tougher than he ever did.
It's
but he's
true.
still like,
It's
look
true.
at me though. I got this glove, right?
He did it.
Not just his gloves, it's fucking like armband shit, like
He knew what he was doing.
+2 against dwarves.
See? And Matt Reeves took all that information.
Way to bring it back. I was trying to find a way to circle back to Batman, but you did that. But yeah, so it's fucking what's his face? Sparkle vampire dude, Pattinson.
Yeah, right.
In a bat suit, and it's all red for reasons that I don't quite understand. Because sure. But then
He was developing photos.
yeah, he's in his dark room.
Exactly.
The entire Batcave is actually just a dark room. Alfred,
You
turn
didn't
on
see
the
the
lights.
tongs. If you'd pan down lower, you'd see the tongs, and he just flipped the paper over.
Yeah, like just the whole fucking row in the back, and just pictures hung on it. And it's just Commissioner Gordon, like in the shower, like in his backyard, sunning himself, like at the beach.
This show writes itself. It's easy.
It really does. It's just called like According to Jim. It's like Batman's just fascination with Jim Gordon.
According to Jim Gordon. There you go, man. Saturday nights at 8.
My favorite part of the Harley Quinn animated show, which I now love to death, is that and if you haven't seen it, it's fucking amazing. But there's this bit in the first episode where you meet Commissioner Gordon and Batman for the first time, and Gordon is like literally this fucking dude who's like barely holding on to his coffee mug, which clearly filled with scotch. And then, like Batman swoops in, and Harley's just like, he fucks bats. I bet you that guy fucks bats, doesn't he? And Jim's like, yeah, he really does. I go, I don't fuck bats. Yeah, you do. Like, I've seen him do it. He fucks all the bats. So I do want like the drunk kind of, way on edge ADHD Jim Gordon, who's been scared on the top of that roof so many times. He's just nervous condition.
God damn it. Another conversation on the roof.
Ugh, son of a bitch. Could you not surprise me? Just knock. That'd be fine.
Right?
So yeah, they made a Batman suit.
Yeah.
What did you think of that Batman suit?
I mean, of what I could see, I thought it could be cool. I mean, we didn't even see the top of the cowl. We didn't even see the ears really. So it was a tiny little bit. I think he's got a great jaw.
He's got a good jaw for that.
He's got the jaw for the role. I think that he's been spending his time doing really interesting cool and varied work. And so I'm kind of excited to see what comes next. I think we're all pretty in love with this this one bit of I guess reveal. That do you want to talk about that? Yeah.
Well, it's the prevailing theory is that the bat signal, the bat symbol on his chest looks like it's made of kind of like wrought metal and some like. It doesn't look like the regular old fucking like the black and yellow shit that we've seen before, the big black one or what have you. It looks like it's made from another thing. And so the prevailing theory is that it's the gun that Joe Chill used to shoot his parents. He's recovered and welded into the bat symbol itself that he now wears on his chest, which I love to death, and I love it for so many reasons, but the chief of which is Kevin invented that idea.
That's awesome.
Like Kevin Smith, the guy who's usually there, who's white.
Imagine me, whiter.
Yeah, not that much heavier though.
Same vegan though.
Yeah,
still
same, it's all
exactly.
Like beans.
It's practically the same.
Yeah.
Put a hockey shirt on me and it's me.
Yeah, nice pink blazer. Maybe,
absolutely.
A couple buttons. But he and Jim Lee had done a story for the Batman 1000 issue that was the idea. Ultimately behind it is that it was always an armored chest plate.
Yeah.
It had been since Frank Miller did it in Dark Knight Returns. And Kev's innovation his masterstroke was that armor is made from the melted down revolver that killed his parents. And so he's keeping that so close to the chest, literally, because it's protecting him from the world and it's reminding him of why he does it.
I'm just wondering how many times like Kevin had to write that over because his tears just made the ink run, or as he was writing it.
It's like, I need a new laptop.
I don't even know it. This is for your mama, and his mama's died. And it was, oh shit, it's all gone. It's all gone. Oh man, you just know.
There's a stack of short-circuited out laptops because he cried all over them.
Oh my God.
Give me another one.
Because that came from the heart right there.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
So even if that's not what that is, I'm going to believe that that's
We're all going to believe that that's what that, because if it's not, I guarantee you somebody in a PR room is like, trust me, this is what you're going to say. Matt Reeves.
This is what it is.
Exactly. That's exactly what you did. You're going to shed tears as you wrote it.
It's like, no, it's the ashtray that Bruce Wayne made when he was 7 that he gave to his parents the night before they... No, it's not that.
No.
No.
It was made from the pearls that bounced on the...
No. It was the Revlon hairdryer that he used to use when he was... No, not that. Blender? No.
Yeah. No. So I'm excited about it. I'm still waiting for... I have loved all of the Batman movies.
All of them?
Well, okay. I have loved aspects of all of the Batman movies.
Aspects?
There was one Batman movie that...
Yeah?
I was glad that there was a Batman movie. And then of all the other movies, I have enjoyed all of them, but I have never felt like the consummate Batman movie has been made. And so I love all of these different versions because they're things that I absolutely love about him, because how can you not love Batman? And but still I'm kind of waiting for the one where I'm like, this does it all for him. And so you know what? If the crystal penis ends up being the dude who walks up there and is the Bruce Wayne of all our dreams, then I'm like, go for it. I'm excited.
For a second, I thought like crystal penis was his like CIA code word or something.
Nah, I'm just imagining, like Edward running around in the woods,
sparkle down,
sparkling and just free as a bird, and I'm like, that's gonna hurt, man.
No, it's Chase. I have to imagine that kind of that would leave a mark.
That would leave a mark. That's all I'm saying.
Can't buff that out.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about what comes next.
As am I. Speaking of Batman, I'm trying to find a way to link all these stories. Just you wait.
Okay, you do it.
I had been working with Kevin for a stretch on Masters of the Universe.
Oh yeah.
Which was a blast. Like, had the most fun ever. And like, I had known, he had sent me a text, a couple months ago with like, dude, here's who I think is going to be the voice cast. And I was like, motherfucker, they won't allow me in their presence. Like, I'm not getting invited to the cast and crew party because like half of them I should have a restraining order against.
Right.
Because I love them all too much.
It's
and he was
crazy.
Like, I won't tell them who you are. It'll be fine. And then on Valentine's Day, Netflix released the voice cast for this. It's fucking bananas.
It's crazy. It's so crazy.
All right, I'm going to read some of these names.
Sure.
I'll read them all.
Read them all.
You know why? Because I did not type them all, and yet I will still read them.
No, exactly. Because you cut and pasted all of these names.
It's hard work.
It is.
I got
They ran together a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I was like, wait, where does the character start?
I got the carpal from doing it, man. I got fucking all of it. I got the power. I can do this. Mark fucking Hamill is playing Skeletor.
Oh, my God.
Oh, shit.
I thought all I was ever going to get out of Skeletor was amazing Geico commercials. And the idea that Mark Hamill is going to be doing He-Man Masters of the Universe is just too good.
So fucking crazy. Lena Headey is Evelyn. Fucking Cersei Lannister is Lena. God damn it.
Can you believe that?
Chris Wood from Supergirl is Prince Adam / He-Man.
Nice.
Sarah Michelle fucking Gellar is Teela.
Awesome.
Liam Cunningham, fucking the Onion Knight.
The Onion Knight.
Man-at-Arms.
Man-at-Arms was always my favorite. You know why? Because he was my first action figure.
Yeah.
He was because I don't know if you remember, but the toys came out before the show came out.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, Man-at-Arms. That dude's got all these weapons. He's gonna kick so much ass. I have never been so frustrated with a TV show in my life. I mean, it was just week after week of him not doing a fucking thing. Well, Adam, we'll get through this somehow. I'm going to go shave my mustache. God, do something.
I will say I think we fixed that for you.
Oh, man, I'm so excited.
He does like 2 things.
Okay, you know what? That's more, you know what? Literally. 200% more than I have ever seen in my life.
Just for you. Let's see, blah, 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 blah. Stephen Root from Office Space.
Nice.
As Cringer. Dietrich Bader as King Randall.
Yes.
Trapjaw. Griffin Newman as Orko. Friend of the podcast, Tiffany Smith as Andra.
Love it.
Henry goddamn Rollins as Triclops.
Henry Rollins. I was once on a plane sitting next to Henry Rollins, and I just sat there and I was just like, this is the best day ever.
Tell me a story, Henry Rollins.
Exactly. Just tell me a story about how you ripped your shirt off and saved the world and couldn't tell anybody. You know? Black Flag.
Black Flag. Alan Oppenheimer, who was the original Skeletor.
Nice.
Is a Mossman.
Oh, he was in Westworld.
He was in Westworld.
Wow.
Susan Eisenberg.
Susan Eisenberg. The Wonder Woman of Wonder Women.
The Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is playing Sorceress. Alicia Silverstone from the Nipples Batman and Robin movie.
That's true.
That's just how I goes to the Nipples movie, where every Batsuit had nipples for reasons that.
I just also remember that when he put on his pants, they like clamped on so that we could see his butt, see the butt there, and I was just like, how do you put those? How do you walk in those pants?
If I remember,
there's
correctly,
a latch.
That's also the Batman movie where Alfred, to boot up some computer program, puts a bat disc in a CD player and then scratches it like he's a DJ.
Was that the one? Yeah. I thought that was. I thought that was.
Is that Batman Forever?
I think that was Batman, the second Tim Burton Batman. Batman Returns.
Is it Returns?
Yeah. I think that was Batman Returns, and I think that was was actually
did a piece of shit like that move.
Yeah. No, and it was and I believe it was Michael Keaton doing the.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I'm not. I think it might have been.
Was it fucking Michael Keaton?
You know why? You know what? Because this is one of those times where if I was in college or I was in high school and it was on HBO or Showtime and it played 400 times. And so I've watched that movie more times than I can think.
I will just say, cocaine is a hell of a drug.
It is. It's true. And yes, I did have a Jerry curl in those days.
So many bad decisions.
So many, I know.
All those movies, mind you. Okay, Lisa Silverstone as Queen Marlena. Justin Long as Roboto.
Nice.
Jason Mewes as Stinkor.
Love it.
Phil Lamar.
The great Phil Lamar.
Phil Lamar as Hero.
Awesome.
Tony Todd as Scareglow.
Candyman.
Of course.
Oh, man, the Candyman.
Cree Summer as Priestess. Kevin Michael Richardson as Beastman.
All right.
Kevin fucking Conroy as Merman.
Oh, nice.
And one Harley Quinn Smith as Elena.
Oh.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn Smith is
Harley
Elena.
Quinn Smith.
That's beautiful.
That cast is fucking bonkers, man.
That is awesome.
I don't know what to do with them. I'm telling you, like, there's
you
not
know
one
what?
in the house.
It's going to be crazy.
I'm just glad that I didn't know who was playing these characters when I was writing my episode. Because then it's like, oh, shit. Let me give the Onion Knight some shit to say.
I got a feeling they're going to be so far from whoever you think they sound like. You know what I mean?
But still.
It's going to be incredible. It's going to be incredible.
And also, it's like, hey, so when are they recording the lines for my episode? I'm going to just swerve on up there.
You
like,
really should.
Hey.
You've got to check that out.
How you doing, Buffy? Nah, you go ahead, you read that. Girl.
Right?
You got that shit. I know. I know. You sup, Cersei? Kill it.
Cersei. This is such a crazy cast. It's amazing.
I don't understand any of it.
It's going to be awesome. You know what? He-Man brings the people together.
Really does.
You know what I mean?
He has the power.
He has the power. And you know how you have the power? Because in that show, he ran and jumped and did like a little somersault, roll, and then kept running again. In every episode of He-Man Masters of the Universe, there was that one moment where he would be running and doing some action thing, but it was the same goddamn moment for 4 years.
Oh man, they animated it well once, and they were like,
Control
C, Control V, just do that shit every fucking
every
episode.
time. That is powerful.
Yeah.
To do that like for 4 years running and just keep us intoxicated.
So he's got to get from this place to that place. How are we going to do that, Walt? You know he's going to do it, right?
Jump,
slide,
roll.
Boom. We use it every day because that's how we make the He-Man. Time to make him roll.
I love it.
Were you a Lucifer fan on the WB and now on, not the WB, like there's still a fucking channel?
I did. I honestly, it's one of those shows that I never got around to watching. I've met Lucifer himself.
He's
handsome devil is what he is.
Too fucking handsome.
Exactly.
Like it's a problem how handsome he is.
Ridiculously handsome.
Like I do this other podcast called the Battlestar Galacticast with Trisha Helfer, and we're watching every episode of Battlestar Galactica. And so we've had a couple of friends of the show come on the podcast, and she said, "Oh yeah, Tom Ellis is going to be our guest on this episode." It's like, oh, okay, cool. We're recording at like 11 o'clock in the morning, whatever, it's fine. Motherfucker shows up, clearly just woke up, looking like the fucking Prince of England. I mean, like his hair was just tousled,
you
but
know
like
what?
just fucking
that
right.
Goddamn accent. I swear to God.
Like maybe hadn't showered in 2 days, but it still smelled like fucking musk.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
Like I'm starting to feel some shit.
Of course
and
you
then
are.
just like smoked, like so now he smells like it's. But I'm like, how do you walk through the world like this?
Yeah, easily. That's how he does it.
Yeah,
easily.
Like not fair.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what do you desire? Everything you want me to, dude.
It's like John Hamm and 30 Rock, people just giving him shit on the street.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Bubble.
Exactly. Are you a doctor? No. Here, you are now.
It was humbling, and also like I should not be in rooms with people like that and attempt to maintain some sense of self. Like, oh no, now's when I just go and eat all the Twinkies and a gun because too much.
But you made it. And apparently
Clearly,
Lucifer.
I'm here. And Lucifer, which had been supposedly only going to go 5 seasons, Netflix had picked them up after after Fox had canceled it. They went a season, then they went another like half a season.
Right.
And they're like, hey, we're done. Psych. And so now they're coming back. They're in negotiations to do one more year of Lucifer on Netflix.
Could he have perhaps made a deal with the devil? Awesome. That's so exciting, man. That's exciting. I mean, because I've had Young Justice was one of the shows that I've been a part of for a long time. We did it for 2 years. It got canceled, and because of fan support and Netflix and everything, was raised from the dead and came back. For some reason I haven't lost my head or anything on The Walking Dead. I mean, I'm on all of these odd shows that like Teen Titans that we did 5 fabulous seasons, and then it's supposed to be over and you never hear from it again. And then we do a couple of shorts, 2 years later, and then a year after that we start doing Teen Titans Go, and then people remember that I was okay at doing Cyborg, and then I do Cyborg in all of these different iterations. So there is something lovely about the world we're living in now that people are dying for that content, and nothing's truly dead if we still really love it. And there's something beautiful about nostalgia and having that power as a people, when something's truly great, to never have to let it go. You can always find it. It's beautiful.
I feel like that's what Captain Kirk said at Spock's funeral in Wrath of Khan. Like,
never met anyone so human.
He's
Absolutely.
never really gone as long as we remember him.
Absolutely.
Well done. I'm excited for it to come back because I like that show quite a bit. It is not, it's funny, like I like the Lucifer comic book, the Neil Gaiman Lucifer book that came out from Vertigo, and the show's not that. Right. And it took a little while for me to adjust to the fact that one was not going to necessarily have to be the other.
Right.
And it found its own stride, and it became super fucking fun, and the cast gels really well with each other. And it just became I kind of want to have a good time.
Right.
Like, I don't want to be taxed by it. I don't want to be thinking too hard about it. Not that it's like not very well done, and not that the crimes, and it's a procedural, it's a police procedural.
Right.
It is the only one of those I watch, because I like the people in it, and there's something to be said for like I can go and watch that show and feel comforted by people that I'm familiar with, and that is no small thing.
That's cool. That's cool.
In a crazily fractured entertainment landscape where there's 500 TV shows on the
exactly, and that's the thing, and this conversation is going to give me. Literally, if I wasn't watching Birds of Prey because I had flown back into town yesterday,
Ooh.
or actually on Sunday, and so no, it was early Monday, and I was gonna go see Birds of Prey yesterday, and I was gonna watch a few episodes of Lucifer today, just for this, and so this is literally my introduction. I'm excited to check it out.
It's worth it.
Yeah,
And I don't imagine you will hate yourself looking at Tom Ellis.
Oh, I won't hate myself. I hate you.
That's fine.
If you fuck this up for me, but I got a feeling, we got a similar vibe.
Yeah, like,
it's gonna be fun.
You can find me.
If
you gotta hate me in person.
I'm gonna follow you home. I ain't got no place to sleep. Exactly.
I watched Lucifer. It sucked. I want my money back.
What's in the fridge? I can only eat chickpeas.
Bring me all of your hummus. Were you, as I'm imagining most of us were, and still are, fucking not just didn't die, he just disappeared for a while.
Sure.
A Rick Moranis fan?
Of course. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, like there's so much of my childhood that is like Rick Moranis based.
Absolutely.
And then he kind of just like up and disappeared a while ago.
You know what? There's something beautiful about someone in this business who disappears of their own volition. Mm-hmm. Who has enough success to be able to take care of his and his own, and is like, you know what? I'm gonna take that time. I'm gonna enjoy, my family and everything, and that's what pretty much what he did, right?
Yeah, like around like the late '90s, he was just like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah,
I just kind of want to raise my kids. I want to have my life. I want to live in the middle of someplace that's not LA and just fucking, be me. And that you're right. There's something super admirable about it. Like he found a peace.
Right.
He was living that peace.
Exactly. I mean, you do Sigourney Weaver, you shrink a couple of kids, you get the hell out of town.
What more can you? You were already a giant dog.
I'm telling you.
Disney managed to pull him out of his sanctum sanctorum, and drag him out of retirement to go and do another Honey I Shrank the whatevers.
Right.
Movies. For like a full-on fucking theatrical movie, not like Disney Plus, not like
right.
some. And I'm like, I'm torn on it because again, like that dude he had already gone to his Valhalla, right? Like he was like, listen, man, I found my warrior's respite, and I'm like knitting or making fucking honey or like masonry, whatever his hobbies are.
Listen, if Daniel Day-Lewis has taught us anything, okay, it's that actors truly being retired is some bullshit, okay? That joker has been retired more times than Daniel Day-Lewis.
I think Brits do it more than anybody. Like Anthony Hopkins has been retired like every third year. It's like, I'm fucking done with this.
Right.
And then it's like, hey man, would you like to play Odin again? Yes, I would.
Of course you would. Because the truth is, the thing about acting is that you don't really retire from acting because the job of acting is getting the job. The job of actually doing the acting, that's not work. Even when it's hard, it's not work. It is the best feeling you could possibly have as an artist, because all they're asking is that you take that piece of yourself deep down, and just be honest and give it. It's just about giving at the end of the day. And so when somebody asks an actor to get out of retirement, it's just about giving that piece of yourself. Mm. And the hard part is getting from Burbank to Santa Monica. The hard part is sitting here and talking to people you don't want to talk to. The hard part is all of that bullshit. Exactly. I'm sorry. The hard part is all of that, but at the end of the day, the acting itself, the point of that is you never really give up that, because the truth is you're living that on a daily basis. You're still a storyteller. You know, you never stop being that. You know, and so I'm excited for him because he wouldn't come back if he didn't really want to, and he gets to go back. There's a great white north when he's done, you know.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Well done. All right, last story, and it's less a story, just more I'm kind of psyched for this thing to exist, is that there's a Loki show. We all know there's a Loki show, right? Gugu Mbatha-Raw is joining the cast of Loki.
I love it.
Which suddenly makes it like 25% more thing I was going to have in my eyes soon. Because like there was a chance I was working for the LA Times, and she had made some movie. It wasn't very good. This Free State of Jones. Okay. She made a movie with Matthew McConaughey, some like Civil War thing, which whatever. But they were like, hey, do you want to interview her? And I said, is there a word that is both no and yes at the same time?
Sure.
Because yes, she's fascinating and she's got a really interesting career, and then no, I can't be in a room with somebody who looks like that all the time, and then me just be this fucking troll who like walks through the world like in jeans that don't fit right. Like, I think it's bad for me.
Did you pull it together though?
No.
No?
Second time I did that.
Oh, bro.
I had a chance to interview Idris Elba, and for the same reason, I was like, can't do it. I can't like walk in there realizing that we are both A, the same species, and B, the same age. And be like, how did these two things fucking happen? And then like carry on with my life after that. Like, that's not a thing that happens. Like, no, I gotta be able to hold my head up and not just be like, oh, it could have been that.
I gotta appreciate the honesty though. I mean, you know what? If any of us can know anything in this world, know thyself.
Know thyself.
Know thyself.
Know those rooms you can walk into and then walk out of with some semblance of yourself intact.
Oh, my God.
Those two are rooms that I could not have escaped from.
I hear you.
And like led a life.
I hear you. Awesome. Oh, well. This is amazing. This is amazing.
I'm all for it, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. If we can inject more black people into Norse mythology, I'm all for it.
Like that's when you do like the Cosby Jello, like.
Absolutely. There you go. Too soon?
Way too soon.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, we'll cut that out. JC, we're cutting the Cosby bit because nobody needs that.
Yeah.
And we're back. See, that'll be like everybody at home is gonna be like, "What did they cut out?" And then you'll be like, "I was in the house." Like if you was in the house, this is why you buy tickets because you get to see what we cut out. When we're like, we don't want the world to see that. And we're back. We just keep doing that all the time. Lots of edit points.
I'm starting to figure out how this show's running.
Yeah, no, we got this. That is all the news that is fit to print, my friend.
That is exciting.
That is exciting. And so now we come to the part of the show that is my favorite part of the show. JC, did you give me the magic tickets you pulled out from under the fucking keg in the back?
That was so weird.
The secret hiding spot. It was like, I swear there are tickets back here somewhere.
What kind of picture do you have on these? What's happening?
We didn't. That's these people.
Okay. They have clothes on. I was wondering what's happening here.
They're
wearing beige. Everybody's wearing beige.
It's the Hedgehog Cinema.
Yeah, there you go.
Nobody's got clothes on.
Right.
Thanks to our good friends at Brett Deacon at 4DX and ScreenX, we have tickets to hand out for people who ask us the best questions that both of us can answer. Ask me nothing about CG Tigers. Maybe don't ask him anything about Carnival Row. You
can ask me one question about Carnival Row.
Sure. Did you watch it? No. Moving on.
I did watch Carnival Row.
Did you?
Yes, I did, man. You put some fairies in anything, I'm gonna watch it.
We almost got there. Almost got there. But yes, so NJC, our man behind the spotlight, will pick out some handy victims to ask us some questions. So, hey, man.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good. What's your name?
My name is Harut.
Harut.
Nice to meet you.
Very good to meet you, sir.
First off, Mr. Payton, thank you very much for coming into our wonderful lair.
Oh, yeah, man. Thank you for having me. I love your shirt, man.
Thank you. Got it at the Funko store.
I love it.
So my question is, what type of show or movie would you like to see being rebooted in today's time? And I will give you my perfect example of today's time that we really need to see rebooted.
Okay.
Shoot. Well, what's yours?
Yeah, what's yours?
First off, I definitely would like to see a new Captain Planet reboot because in this time, what we're seeing right now, we need to see what's been going on with climate change and all these deniers who are saying that's not true, but we know the real truth.
Right. Captain Planet.
Nice. All right. Anything? Cartoon, live action? It's open?
All the above.
I would kind of dig a Bionic Man. Ooh. I think that there was a great issue of a comic book series called Global Frequency, which if you've never read is fucking phenomenal. Warren Ellis, a bunch of rotating artists, but it was like an anthology. Every issue was a different story. But they did one issue about, which is fundamentally the Bionic Man who the implants didn't take right. And it's like, what happens when your body's not your body? What happens when you wake up and you look in the mirror and you don't see the you that you used to see? Like, what does it do to your mind when you're not the version of yourself that you're most familiar with? And so that sense of we are as a society, as a culture, as all of it, beginning to incorporate far more alien materials into our bodies, like be it like implants or replacements or upgrades or skin grafts, or I got a titanium hip. Oh yeah, I got this thing. Oh, at what point does it become, I'm no longer the me that I used to know? And some of it is not by my desire. You know, like the shit that happens to Steve Austin was not his choice. Like he went down in a fucking accident and woke up with this shit in his body. And what is your perspective on that stuff as a person? And then you're asked to like do superhero shit, like, oh, now you're a secret agent. Like, motherfucker, I can't recognize my feet. And you're telling me I gotta go and like defuse an atom bomb somewhere? Like, I think that the core question that every character is wrestling with in anything is, who am I, why am I here, and what do I want? And if that person's very sense of himself is so fucked up beyond recognition, those questions get really, really interesting. Of like, what do I want? Do I want to not be this anymore? Do I want to do good with this? Do I want to do bad with this? Like, what happens to your moral compass once you're no longer yourself? So I would watch that show. I would also make that show, Hollywood. Give me money, and I'll make your show for you. But that's mine.
I feel so Kevin right now. I feel so fucking Kevin. Just want to crawl underneath this Scum and Villainy bar and try and...
Just Constanza yourself
exactly,
down there?
just sit down here with all the droids that they won't let out. And say, I'm trying to... Yeah, right? Like, I'm Cyborg, really. Shut up, man. Just wait for everybody to go home so we can get the fuck out of here.
You just shut up.
Oh, man. Let's see. I only have, like, joke ideas, like Manimal.
Dude, don't fucking joke.
Dude,
I would watch Manimal.
I loved Manimal growing up. I remember when Manimal got canceled, and I was like, how did Manimal get canceled?
He turns into like 4 things.
But for me, I was like, everybody's watching this show, obviously. It's on my TV every Friday or Saturday or whatever the hell it is.
Because we had nothing else to do, so they could do like Friday at 8. We're like, I'm home.
Friday at 8, exactly. Everybody's watching Manimal. How could they possibly have canceled this juggernaut of popularity?
Simon McCorkindale needs to work.
Dude. Yeah, I remember when he was like, I can't turn into a panther. So I need to go to a martial artist who's gonna teach me the panther style. And see, he would roll around and be like, and then finally by the end of it, he was like, I could turn into a panther.
I used to love it because Stan Winston did all the effects for that. And so and it was very much like the He-Man, we're tucking and rolling.
Yeah.
Every time he turned into a thing, it was the same fucking footage. Like, I'm a hawk. Same hawk footage.
Same hawk,
like fucking these fingers, which is the longest. Like, it's paws happening. Same fucking paw footage.
Same snake footage.
All about it.
Oh my God. Yeah. So no, I mean honestly,
and
I love me some Animal.
And I love crimes that can only be solved by a dude who turns into animals.
Dude. It's a very niche sort of detective agency.
He gets 1 call a year.
Exactly,
like,
but that, you
listen,
know what?
Some dude stole my panther. Can maybe you find it?
Of course I can. That'll be $250,000. Yes.
Like
so
1 job a year.
Yes. So Manimal, it's a joke, but not really.
I stand by that.
I would like to see Manimal. I would also like. You remember Mantis?
Yeah.
I would like to be Mantis. I feel like I would have a better run than Mantis had. Mantis had this crazy Mantis run, and every time I was like, this is so awesome, this is supposed to stop running. Stop running, Mantis. Why are you running like that?
I mean, to be fair,
he was running like a mantis?
He was running like a dude who hadn't run in like 15 years because he was like a paraplegic.
It's true.
So clearly he's not going to Jesse Owens that shit because
no,
he's
you
just
Jesse Owens that
again.
Shit. You know what? You know what? We have suspended our disbelief at this point. You can Jesse Owens that shit.
Maybe Carl Lumley was not a good runner.
Well, you know what? I'm not gonna blame it on him. I'm gonna blame it on the stuntman. But yes, Mantis. I would love a good Mantis reboot. Okay. And while we're at it, you know what? If we're gonna get honest,
let's fucking do it.
Misfits of Science. Do you remember Misfits of Science?
You being saucy.
I'm sorry, man. I'm going back to childhood. I'm going back to baby times.
All right.
Misfits of Science. The dude the tall guy who would get real little, and then the dude who would grab the electricity and he could shoot for a little bit, and Courtney Cox.
Who didn't do anything.
I can't remember what she did, but she was very Courtney Cox.
Well, she just danced with every rock
star. She did. She had that Springsteen little bob haircut. Absolutely. Courtney Cox and people around her doing Misfits of Science and shit.
I love basically it's like, listen, guys, I just want the 1986 NBC lineup.
Exactly. Greatest American Hero. Yeah. I want to do Greatest American Hero. Can I do Greatest American Hero? Oh my God. I can grow the hair. I swear to you, give me 18 months. I can do it.
That William Cat
Believe
Bob.
it or not, I can do it.
Growing the hair.
Yes.
I would watch that in a fucking heartbeat, man.
Boom. Oh, you know what? I was like, he can't be that bad at flying the entire, run of the show. At some point, he's got to even that shit out. Just stop swatting flies the whole time. Let's have a progression. This is gonna get better.
Right. He's always like the kid who just learned how to ride his bike.
Yeah.
And then apparently forgets that he just learned how to ride his bike every time.
Total amnesia.
That's a part of the show we didn't really get into.
Yeah. I was like, he's gonna be better this episode.
Nope. Retrograde amnesia.
Never.
Every fucking episode. Like, what happened? We just wiped him clean.
It's true.
It's true. Shit. He shit himself in that suit. He forgot how to do that too.
Man, I thought I had no answers. Apparently, I got answers. So there we go.
Did we answer your question, sir?
Absolutely.
Excellent. Thanks. Come and get some tickets, man.
Come and get your tickets. No.
Come and get your tickets.
Yeah, back up. Beep, beep, beep.
Don't forget your
Grab
tickets,
those
man.
tickets. Thank you, man.
Hey, man.
Hey.
What's your name?
Marcus Ortiz. I just came out here from New York. I listen to the show all the time. And
welcome
dude,
aboard.
Thank you for coming out.
As of right now, you win the I was furthest away before I came, so good job.
That's
Thank
true.
you.
What part of New York?
I live now in Westchester, but I grew up in the Bronx. And,
the Boogie Down represent.
Yeah.
Nice.
Welcome aboard.
So this is actually sort of along those lines, thinking about how hip-hop culture has sort of, proliferated into media. The intersection between nerd culture and sort of minority hip-hop cultures emerging, even with like your influence on Miles Morales and other takes, but it's still sort of not really a thing yet. So I guess this is more of a...
I got a story I got to tell you about Miles Morales. I got a story I got to tell you about Miles Morales.
Right now?
I got to tell you right now. You stay right there.
I'm here.
This is a good story.
Okay.
Because I was meaning to tell you about this in a more private setting, but fuck it, we're here.
Am I going to cry?
No, it's just,
Are you sure?
I may cry.
Okay.
I may cry.
Or then I'm going to cry.
Okay.
And then she's going to cry. And then it's going to be a whole fucking thing.
It's so
Okay.
crazy, man. Okay, so 6 years ago, I did this pilot of Powers. Before Powers, the Sony PlayStation show came out, they did one for FX, Powers, and that's when I met Brian Michael Bendis, and that was right as literally there were like Fox was all up in arms that Spider-Man was going to be black and all of this in the comic books and everything, and I was writing with Brian Michael Bendis, and this is literally like the greatest thing that's ever happened in my life. It's the tiniest little thing because I grew up. Spider-Man was my favorite by far. He was everything Marvel to me because he wasn't bigger than life. He was this tiny little, not Miles, but Peter Parker, tiny skinny little kid. But when he put a mask on, I was shy growing up. Believe it or not, I was shy growing up. But if I got on a stage, I came alive, and I love Spider-Man for that because he was just a nerdy little kid. He put that thing, all of a sudden he had the quips, he could do all the stuff. And he was skinny like me. It was like I could be in that suit. And when I was a kid, I would tell Brian Michael Bendis when we were driving to set, he was like, "Man, I'm getting all of this blowback. All of these people are talking shit about this character." And I said, You have done this incredible thing for me, and I just want to tell you, just keep doing what you're doing. Don't listen to anybody, because when I was on the playground and they'd be like, you can't be Superman, and you can't be Batman because they're white, they're white, or they're this or they're that, and I was like, fine, I'm Spider-Man, and they were like, you can't be Spider-Man. I was like, you don't know who Spider-Man is. You don't know who's Spider-Man when he puts that thing on. Because anybody can wear that mask. I can be that man. Anybody can wear that mask. And that's what I told Brian Michael Bendis years ago. I forgot all about that conversation. And then I read an article when Brian Michael Bendis was talking about Miles Morales. And he was and they were talking about this movie that was coming out. Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. And he was like, well, I was, we've been working on this thing, and I years ago, you may not, know this guy, but he does these cartoons, and I was having a conversation with this guy, Khary Payton, when we were coming out with Miles Morales, and he said, anybody can wear the mask. I'm about to cry right now. The point is, you never know. You never know who you talk to, what you say or do. I'm sure I have affected many people on many levels because I have met them all my life. But to me, to have affected even in the tiniest, I actually didn't affect anything. I just said, go forward. What you're doing is right. Go forward. That's all I did. But I did it for the character that I grew up seeing in myself more than anyone, and to have, I can't even remember who sent me that article. I think it was just somebody who sent it to me on Twitter, and I sat there and tears ran down my face, and I thought to myself, this is all I got into this business for, was that I could affect somebody, and then they in turn affect me back, but I knowing your whole story with Miles Morales, and when I read, I was like, one day I'm gonna tell him that story, and just how much it's affected me. So
that's beautiful.
There it is.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. That's yeah, like you never fucking know who's gonna listen. You never know who's gonna get touched. You never know how they're gonna get touched. And then every now and again, you just plant the seeds.
Man,
right?
My mom, years ago, I was struggling as an actor, and my mom was like, why don't you just go back to doing theater and do something else because you were happy doing that. And I was like, I'm happy now, Mom. I'm happy with the struggle. And it was and she didn't understand because she wasn't seeing me on the big screen or on TV. I was just doing guest star stuff and commercials here and there, and I said, Mom, I just feel like there's somebody that needs to see me that's in a bigger space than this little room. I think it needs to be projected. There's somebody that I'm never going to meet who I need to tell something to, and they're going to hear it because I'm telling it, because I can tell it the way nobody else can. And that thought has always driven me in this roller coaster of a fuck. I've been doing this for 20-something years, and the thing that keeps me going is there's one person in a dark room watching a lit up box flashing back at them because they need it. It's entertainment, but we need it. Somebody's talking to us through that box, and that's the thing that keeps us going. And that's the thing that I always think about. And the truth is thankfully because of The Walking Dead, I'm able to do all of these conventions and things. And the difference is on stage, you get that immediate gratification. The beauty of those conventions is that people come and they finally tell you, cancer survivors, people with depression, all of the one that I remember the most, there was this huge dude. He had a big bushy beard and a big white guy, and I was like, okay, here comes my Walking Dead guy. He wants and he pushed over this Cyborg picture, and then I looked in his face and I saw it. He was a young guy. He had a big beard, but he was a young dude, and he was like, this got me through a lot of bad times in my life. I don't know what it was, but his big old arms came out like this, and pick me up, and I will never forget that hug, because I don't know what he's gone through. I don't know what he's gone through, but it got him to meet me, to this place that we are. That's what we fucking do, man. That's what we fucking do. And anyway, Miles Morales.
I'm glad the start of my question got to tell that story, because that's amazing.
Yeah, me too, brother, me too.
So similar to Miles Morales, and maybe thinking of like a Miles Morales too, I'll give you an example of something like for me that was sort of Didn't expect it, and then when I saw it, it was amazing. Back in the 90s, New York Undercover on Fox was an amazing show, took over what was the typical cop procedural and sort of gave it a different perspective on it. So for both of you, you as an actor and you as a writer, what's a property that you think either could be, taken from hip hop culture and minority culture and brought into a sort of more of a science fiction realm, or the vice versa, taking something like a Spider-Man and bringing it into more of a hip hop take on it? And then bonus points if you can think of an artist that might be able to score it.
Oh, okay. So basically you want me to Hamilton something, right? Like find a thing that doesn't inherently feel like it belongs in hip hop and then bring it into that sphere, or vice versa. Fuck. This is some homework type shit.
You know what? I'm gonna go first because I'm gonna give you a second.
Thank you.
Because actually, I've already sort of done something like this.
Ooh, so
it hasn't.
Cheating.
And
Good
so
for you.
so I'm cheating, and I may be like out in a little something, but who cares? We all friends here. Don't tell nobody. The cool thing about Teen Titans Go is that we have garnered enough success that nobody cares what we do anymore. They kind of didn't care what we did before anyway, but they really don't care now because when we went off the rails is when we started to really find things. And so fortunately for me, the showrunner of the show now, Pete Michael, and I are huge fans of the hip hop group De La Soul from like way back in the day. And if you don't know about De La Soul, it's hard to find their old stuff because they have a beef with the people who own the property to their music.
3 Feet High and Rising is filled with so many fucking samples that it's impossible for you. Like it was that one in Paul's Boutique, which basically caused them to write laws about sampling.
Literally wrote laws about sampling, and so they've been in litigation trying to get this worked out forever. And so Pete, like I, was frustrated that we couldn't get to the music, and we wanted to write a Teen Titans Go episode about fighting for that music. And we were like, we wrote and Pete wrote an episode about De La Soul. And the only problem is that we had to get De La Soul to do it. So we called up De La Soul. And man,
Hello, De La?
yeah, and we were looking for the soul, De La that is, and De La answered the phone. They all flew down here. And before you know it, I mean, it is we've done music before, but never something with a hip hop bent. You know, we've done The Night Begins to Shine and definitely done some 80s rock opera kind of things. And so we've taken that rock opera and we've melded it with hip hop. And so you will see De La Soul in your future.
Wow. That's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
All right, so...
I'm about to get in so much trouble for that, but I don't care, man.
And we're back. Part of me thinks that what one of the defining, at least for me, the defining pillars of hip hop is overwhelming confidence, right? Like every rapper, every MC who's coming out the gate is going to tell you why they're so fucking awesome. Like that is the unifying thread that connects everybody from fucking LL to fucking Run DMC to, Jay-Z. Like everybody's like, I'm the fucking best. There's this book that I'm pretty sure is like 400 years old by now, if not older, 300 years old, called Three Musketeers, which is fundamentally about a character named D'Artagnan who thinks he's better than fucking everybody else is. Like he swans into this town, like I'm gonna get this petty revenge for this thing, and I'm gonna duel this dude who's better than I am, and this dude who I'm better than, and this dude, and it's just about duels. It's about this dude who gets himself like trouble with dueling a bunch of people, and he thinks he can beat them all. He schedules them like right after each other because he knows he's gonna survive it. And there's fucking sword fighting, and there's fucking daring do, and there's a fucking, countess and the evil fucking priest, all of that shit. But I think there's a version of that that's fucking hip hop. I think there's a version of that sense of I came into this city thinking I'm better than fucking everybody else, and here's I'm going to be both humbled by it and prove my worth by doing it. I wish that you could get the Beastie Boys to do that. Alas, we have no more Beastie Boys, so that's the thing you can't have. I don't know, man.
I love you so much. I didn't know it until this moment. But I love you so much. For you to bring the fucking Three Musketeers and hip hop together. I hope you don't mind, man, but I'm gonna sleep on your couch tonight. because I mean, honestly, the only thing that you, and this is what made me even more excited because that is an amazing idea, and literally my favorite. The reason that I wanted to become an actor was because in the first grade I went to see a community theater production of and oh God, why is it leaving me? His name is no. His White Plume.
Scarlet Pimpernel?
No.
Cyrano. There it is.
Good Lord, how do I live? Literally, and the idea that the Three Musketeers are Cyrano. I mean, he's so money. He's so money and doesn't even, and he is so confident about everything, every fucking thing, except that woman. Except that woman. He has supreme confidence. He will literally win a war single-handedly. But he cannot talk to this woman. It's his cousin. I don't know why they put that in there. That's weird. So weird. That was weird. That was fucked up. I don't know why.
Apparently the 1700s was all about
it was like, hey, just go for it, man.
Like, take a dip in his gene pool, son.
I'm telling you, Roxanne. But yeah. I mean, those swords, that confidence, that's beautiful.
It's the thing that I loved about the Baz Luhrmann version of Romeo and Juliet, which is like we're dueling, but they're not really duels. No. Like we got rapiers, but that's the make of a gun. It's like recontextualizing the thing that we already know to be there in a different way. And just fucking this dude from fucking Georgia comes into Harlem and like wants to fucking sway and has to go up against the 3 MCs that fucking hold it down.
Yeah. No, that's amazing.
That's super fucking
fun. I love that. Yeah, my favorite Leonardo DiCaprio moment is when he takes Tybalt's gun and puts it on his forehead and dares him. Yeah. And dares him with tears in his eyes. It was like, it's not about the fight. It's not about the fight in here. It's about the fight up here.
Yeah, I love that's the first time I saw Harold Perrineau in anything.
Oh, wow.
And his Prince of, it's so beautiful when he's like, because he gets fucking stabbed
Sure.
and he's about to die. And he's like, ask for me tomorrow, you'll find me a grave man. And he's like smiling through it all because he knows that he just did this for his brother, for his friend, and doesn't even want to tell him that he's dying, but still can't keep it a secret.
Sure.
Just that fucking wordplay, it breaks my heart every time.
So good. Good.
So that, then,
dude,
is what I do, but fucking great question, man.
Great question.
Thank you.
Great question.
Repping the boogie down. Come. If you're still in town, go see a movie.
Take care.
Hey, man.
Boy. Hi.
How you doing?
Oh, my gosh. I'm a little nervous.
Star Labs, man. I love it. Star Laboratory.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, it's great, right? I love the show.
What's your name?
Yusuf.
Yusuf.
Yeah,
welcome aboard.
Yeah, it's great. Well, I love both of you guys really a lot, and I really made an effort to come out here because, like...
Well, thank you so much, man.
Like, Mark, your journalism, like, talk about, like, black culture and, like, media and everything like that. really made me think about my own culture. You know, I'm Arabic, and I think of how that reflected on like media itself, because you know everyone that looks like me wants to like blow up this country. So it's like. Which is a huge problem.
Man,
Some days, yeah,
exactly.
Right. But of course, that's changing, you know. But like, I just love your journalism skills. I love your writing.
Thank you.
I love the way how you articulate things and like the importance of everything else. And I just like love reading you like to death. And I even love the episodes that you write as well on television. It's just like extraordinary. And Khary, like, I feel like I never really truly became a fan of you until Teen Titans Go, just because like it showcased more of your range. Like in one episode, you could be like a preacher of the gospel of TV, and in another episode, you could be the child like wondering why you're so adorable. You know, it's just like you constantly questioning that. It's just like you as an actress just like showed so much. You know, just like man, this guy could like do anything. And I'm a huge fan of Young Justice, so like everything in all the 20 characters you play in Young Justice is just like fantastic.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah. So like. My question, I guess, is a bit of a challenging run, right, for both of you. I was always wondering, like, Marc, if you were to create a character that Khary could play, what kind of character would it be? And since Khary, since you're a writer, you could, like, you know, jump in and, like, you know, help him with this. And, like, what kind of catchphrase Khary could deliver? And I would love to hear that catchphrase coming out of you.
A catchphrase.
A catchphrase.
Where's my hasta la vista, baby? So do I need to write a catchphrase for Marc?
If you want to,
I mean that's the way that this works. So I gotta go back.
So I gotta create a character that you can play with a catchphrase, and then maybe you gotta go catchphrase for the character that you're gonna write for me to play. All right. I know the catchphrase.
You know the catchphrase.
I got the catchphrase.
Here's the thing. I don't have the catchphrase yet, but I have the beginnings of a character.
Okay. See, that's where I'm falling down.
Yeah. My character, and here's the weird thing. It's the beginnings of a character. The character is you're an orchestrator.
Okay. Of like music, like a conductor, or
no, but it's you play an organ. Okay, that was weird. You play a piano device.
Okay.
All right. Swear to God, you people. That when you play it, like the tendrils of the sound like have an influence on the world.
That's delightful.
But I'm still working on the catchphrase because right now it's melodic. It's not.
Okay.
You know.
Fuck. Because I got the catchphrase, and I don't want to give up the catchphrase. I just gotta find a way to get. All right, you know what? Fuck it.
Give it to me.
Write what you know. You're a struggling writer, a struggling playwright.
I love it.
Who has this one idea that you can't seem to get any traction on.
How'd you know?
But you keep on like getting closer and closer and closer, but there's something about you that's unwilling to compromise that idea that causes you to slide back down. So it's a little bit of a Sisyphusian, like I could do this if you just let me do it the way I know I need to do it. And then your catchphrase is like, because your friends are all like, dude, just fucking take the money. Just take the money, dude. Just fucking get that thing up there. And you keep on saying, I won't do it until I know it's right. And then when it's right, I'm going to make that white boy money. Still got to make that white boy money, son.
I love it. I love it. I love it. About to make that white boy money.
Almost like, almost want to like name a production company of that.
Yeah.
It's just like, hello, white boy money.
White boy money. Absolutely.
You
Call
know
me
what I'm
back when
looking
you got
for?
the white boy money.
Hey.
I have your catchphrase.
Okay.
I have your catchphrase.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Okay, because your character is this person who is he's in a it's not a church, but it's like a church because you've got this organ, these pipes are filled, and when you play it influences something out there somewhere, and you sit in front of this this instrument, and I see whoever is needing your help. You know, they've come, they finally found you, and they have to explain to you, you know, what you have to do in order to, you know, what they need, what needs to change, what happens, and they're kind of yelling at you, telling you, trying to convince you, and you tell them finally, leave me alone. Just let me play.
That's cool.
Just let me play.
Just let me play.
I feel like that's what they need to do, man. You know, they need, somebody needs to give you a deal and just let you play. Right.
All right, I'll take it. And I'll make that white boy money.
Absolutely. And then you can cast me and we can both make that white boy money.
Excellent. Yusef, does that answer your question?
Yes, it does.
I believe. Come on, get it. Come on down.
I'm gonna have some tickets. All right, we got one last set of tickets. Hello, young camper. Mr. Ryan Fung, how are you?
Pretty well. How are you guys?
I know Ryan from the internet.
Oh, okay.
He works on The Walking Dead.
Yeah, you've got a those sweaters don't come in. Are they do they have the thumb holes?
Well, yeah, yeah, they do.
Damn, look at you. All right.
All right.
He works in the writing staff.
Oh, okay, very good, very good.
In the room where it happens.
In the room where it happens.
As an assistant.
Also, this motherfucker, hold on, before we get into this question. I and he are also, we bonded over Hamilton, right?
Nice.
And because why wouldn't you?
Yes.
And then when Lin Miranda was like, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to Puerto Rico. You want to come see Hamilton with me in the lead again? You got to come to Puerto Rico. And I'm like, I can't make that work. All these logistical shit, whatever. I don't have the time. He's like, I'm going. Like, wait, what? And I'm watching his Instagram stories. He's just touring fucking Puerto Rico, just hanging out, like drinking Mai Tais, which that's not what they make in Puerto Rico, but whatever. And then he goes to see fucking
Hamilton in Puerto Rico.
And I've hated him ever since.
Absolutely. Dun, 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 dun.
It was worth it.
Yeah. So what can we do for you for, Ryan?
Oh, my question is about wrap gifts. Can you tell us about something cool that you got as a wrap gift? And can you tell us about something cool that you would like to receive as wrap gifts? Like a cool idea for one.
Wrap gifts, for those uninitiated, are traditionally at the end of a season of television or at the wrap of a production of a movie. The muckety mucks or the studio itself will give the people who worked on it some kind of present to commemorate it. Sometimes it's got a logo on it. Sometimes it's got a, hey, you did this thing, season 1, awesome. Sometimes it's just like fucking muffins, which I'm not knocking muffins. Like, right. They're amazing. The best wrap gift I got was on Treadstone. I got a mug that you can only get in the Pentagon. That my boss had gone on a tour of the Pentagon to, like, you know, fucking liaise with the people who were like, we're gonna be making fun of in the CIA, whatever. And he got to shop at the gift shop and brought all of us back like official inside the Pentagon CIA mugs, which is pretty fucking rad. The wrap gift I'd like to get, I am pretty sure that after the first season of Friends, those motherfuckers got Porsches. Wow. So I'd like a Porsche, please, Warner Brothers. I mean, I know, like a full-size one, too, not like some fucking like Barbie rent-a-car Porsche or some like remote control. I want a real fucking giant-size actual Porsche. It's a small ask, I know, but I feel like I do good work.
My favorite gift from a production was actually a play that I did, and I pulled this quote up while you're talking because it cost nothing. It was just a picture frame, and in it was a quote from Shakespeare in Love, and it just says,
"Boobies."
Allow me to explain the theater business. The natural condition is one of insurmountable obstacles on the road to imminent disaster. So what do? Nothing. Strangely enough, it all turns out well. How? I don't know. It's a mystery. That's fucking art, man. And it was just like, right before you go into production, you get that. Because you're like, how the fuck are we gonna do this? How is all of this gonna come together? The truth is, there are hundreds of people from in theater or film and TV, and everyone's got to do their job well for this thing, even for a bad movie, to get made is a miracle. So the fact that anything with all of these people caring so much, because we've grown up with this thing, and we all, from the prop person to the guys who are cleaning up all of the stuff on the street, they are invested. There's a guy named Ramon. Ramon, who works on the Walking Dead. He's the guy that cleans up the underbrush and pulls shit out of like muddy, dirty crags. He's been working on this show forever, and you look in his eyes, and I was like, man, you know what? I know we're killing you, man. We've been out here for like because we go 14, 18 hours. That's how we go. Most productions, they top out at 12. We fucking go. And Ramon looks at me and he was like, we make magic in 8 days, man. Let's do this. And that's what it takes. That kind of love, that kind of dedication, that is what it takes. And the truth is that it takes all of those people doing this thing, because it's insurmountable obstacles to try and tell this story and tell it well in a short period of time. And how does it fucking get done? No one knows. It's a mystery. It's a mystery. The love, that's how it happens. That's the way it works. So that little frame, that's the thing that I've loved.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah.
And the one that you would want to get? Oh. Do you also want a Porsche?
I wouldn't mind a Porsche.
I mean, if they're handing them out.
If they're handing out Porsches, I'll take a Porsche. Here's the thing that I got pissed about. Because when I came on the show The Walking Dead, it was an incredible experience, phenomenon that was happening, and they were like, man, this is crazy. Look at what we got for Christmas last year. And he handed me this black card, and it was from Barney's, and it was Lenny James. Lenny James, the great Lenny James, who plays Morgan on the show, and he was like, "How much do you think is on that? How much money do you think is on that card?" And I was like, "I don't know, Lenny." He was like, "I don't know either."
I've been using it for 4 years.
Literally, it was like, I can't remember the exact number, but it was something. He was like, I just shop at Barney's, but whatever. My daughter was like, let's go, let's buy something at Barney's. All right, fine. And so we buy a few things, and we're like, just wondering how much is on that card. And the guy puts the thing in and looks at it, and he was like, he looks at the screen, and he looks at the card, and he looks at Lenny, looks at the screen, looks at the card, and he was like, "Could you excuse me for a minute?" And he walks away with the card. There were tens of thousands of dollars on that card. Tens of thousands of dollars on that card. The next year, I got a lovely coffee pot.
8 million viewers? 8 million viewers went away?
I get it. You know what? I mean, and by lovely coffee, I mean literally.
You can make tens of thousands of
cups of coffee
in that coffee pot.
Absolutely. And one day I will.
Do you like a French
I will
press?
wear that fucking coffee pot out. So there we go.
So that's what you would like.
I do believe that we have answered the question.
I do believe we
to
have
the best of our ability.
Did we make you happy, Ryan?
Yes, thank you.
Outstanding. Here you go, sir. Well, shit. Does anybody else have a question?
I'm jealous of Hamilton right now.
You have
the
no
Hamilton.
idea.
Oh my God.
I mean, like, if I could have gotten myself on a freighter plane,
Dude,
I'd shiv that dude
I
in the
remember
night.
when that was happening, and you know what? I literally won't go to see it at Pantages because Pantages is so big and huge, and I want that tiny little New York theater, to be able to watch it again. I was like, I mean, you feel like you can just grab the stage, you can feel them screaming at you.
Are you going to go see the movie? Did you hear about the movie?
I did hear about the movie. I just saw the trailer for The Heights.
Yeah.
You know, In the Heights. So, and I'm excited about that. You know, it's always interesting when you're taking a theatrical experience and putting it on film. Mm. You know, I just cross my fingers and hope for, you know, magic.
But I mean, I was a sucker for In the Heights. Like, I saw it at CSUN, like with college students.
Wow.
And it tore it up because, you know, if the underlying material is good, then
it don't matter.
It don't matter. But then I saw the trailer for that movie, and I started to like tear up in my car because it just looks so full of life in a way.
Yeah.
But I cannot believe, like, I missed Hamilton on stage. I had 2 chances to go see with the original cast in New York. Missed them both. First time, like, I just didn't quite get it yet. I'm like, I get whatever, maybe, but it's super expensive. Why would we do that? That's crazy. And then I listened to the soundtrack. I'm like, we should spend as much money as we have and go see it. But missed it. But the fact that they shot performances on the Richard Rodgers stage with the original cast, and the fact that that version of it will exist in a way that's different from the theatrical experience, but with that cast in that place, I can't fucking wait. I can't, but I'm dying to go. I've been trying to figure out a way to get back to see that again. I've only seen it once on in New York, and I'm dying to see it. See it again. It's one of those things that it's literally you can't keep clapping. It's like this shit has a rhythm and a life that is of its own, and you just need to get swept up into that wave and that rhythm, and it doesn't stop until it's over, and it is awesome. It is just amazing, and I got so lucky, dude. I don't use this King Ezekiel thing very often. Yeah.
But I tried really hard to get tickets for Hamilton, and I asked everyone, and I could not get tickets for Hamilton. I mean, I was begging. I was like, my manager, my agent, other people's agents, people walking down the street, anything. And finally, it took literally family, my brother's wife's sister. Worked for like, some agency who had some and she was like, I think I can get you like house seats for Hamilton. And I didn't know what she meant by that. And I was like, I'm sure we're way up in the rafters or whatever. And I'm sitting there. Oh no. First I go to see Come From Away, which is the night before, which is a wonderful play about when on 9/11 when people got rerouted to this town in Nova Scotia, and the relationships that were had there during that time. It was amazing, beautiful play, and I knew someone who was in the show, and I went to see them after the show, and he was like, "What are you doing tomorrow?" I was like, I'm going to go see Hamilton. He was like, oh, well, I'll let them know that you're coming. And I was like, just tell them who you are after the show so you can go backstage and meet everybody. And I was like, tell them who I am.
Tell who
I am. I know. Who do I tell? I don't know. And so I'm sitting there watching this show. My eyebrows are blown off by it. Just amazing. And afterwards, I'm like, well, he said I could go backstage, and so I walk back to where people were waiting for the people to come out and sign autographs, and I go to the big security guard guy and I said, "Hello, I'm Khary Payton. They said if I gave you my name that I could go backstage," and he was like, "Khary Payton," and I looked at him and I was like, "I'm King Ezekiel from The Walking Dead," and he was like, "Everybody out of the way!"
Everybody move!
Yes, exactly.
The champ is here. The champ is here.
I have never been so happy in my life. The what do you call it? The tide, the Red Sea parted. There you go. The Red Sea parted. I walk in there. George Washington is waiting for me, and shows me around the stage, and he was just like, I put on one of the coats, and
Shut up.
it was crazy, and he was like, "Are you gonna sign the back of the, because they have, when people come to see the show, you sign and say, wonderful show, this is amazing," and I was like, "You want me to sign the wall of the theater?" And
Next
he was
to
like,
Barack Obama?
"Yeah, exactly." And he was like, "You're King Ezekiel, right?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm King Ezekiel." And so they give me a pen, and it's next to Robert Downey Jr., who wrote, "That's right, I'm Robert Downey Jr."
That's amazing.
I signed my name on the Hamilton wall. I will never forget that experience for as long as I live. Yeah. But
I'm gonna see the movie.
No, we're gonna go see Hamilton on Broadway one of these days, man.
Like I'm with the king.
Exactly.
He's your king to be.
What is that, velvet? We will, exactly. We're going to wear velvet
My
to go
name
see
is Clay.
Hamilton.
I'm going to call him Clay.
You're damn right.
Ladies and gentlemen, have you had a good time tonight? Honest to goodness, none of this happens unless I get somebody like Khary Payton to come and stand next to me. Dude, thank you so much
for
rolling out.
I've had a ball. I had a ball.
And this is the closing of this particular chapter on Blackman Beyond, because like I said, Kevin is coming back in 2 weeks on March 3rd. We're kicking the Fat Man atomic batteries back up to power, the turbines to speed, and we're going to get back into it. So until we meet again in this particular place, in this particular way, thank you from the bottom of my heart for showing out and showing some love. And that's it for Blackman Beyond tonight.
All right.
My name is Marc
Thank you guys so much.
Khary Payton. We will see you, same fat time, same fat channel, smodcast.com or youtube.com, youtube.com/Kevin Smith. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Good night. Take care.